Hi guys, it's Hila here, Saturday Night Stitching. Thank you so much for tuning in to my sewing channel. Today's post, I just really wanted to talk through my process of how I plan on making the cover pattern here from the Burda 10 2020 issue. And the reason why I'm sharing it here on YouTube step by step is because I noticed a certain problem was beginning to crop up. And that was basically that I was beginning to get pattern precious. Now, the most common form of preciousness amongst seamstresses is when we become precious about the fabric. You know, we call it the precious fabric. And it's when a fabric is so precious, we want it to be sewn up into the perfect garment using the perfect notions. And everything has to be perfect in the realization of converting this fabric into a garment. But another often underlooked preciousness problem is pattern preciousness. And that's when you come across a sewing pattern that you just love so much that it has. You can't find the perfect fabric. You can't find just the right fabric to fulfill the criteria in your head that would be suitable for this pattern. And I realized that that is what was happening to me. And I missed the symptoms early on because I normally don't get pattern preciousness. I'm normally quite good at being like, I love this pattern. I'm going to sew it up. I'm going to use whatever is the best suited fabric, whether that's from my collection or whether that's from a shop. But even though I went to Fabrics for All and I ended up getting entangled with some fabrics, even though I'd gone to also buy some fabric for this dress, I hadn't walked away with some fabric for this dress. And when I was editing the video, that's when I realized, I was like, oh my goodness, you missed it. You missed it. That is a classic symptom of pattern preciousness. Now, I don't want to have pattern preciousness because I think you got to nip it in the bud. So here we are. You guys are going to help me be accountable because I actually am committing to recording a series of videos going through how I make this. Because to me, this cover dress is just absolutely the bee's knees, and I plan on making that. I do know that I want to make it in a tartan. I need something that will hold a pleat over here. So I am going to go to Fabrics for All, the shop, and this is the last day that they will be open before the second lockdown that is happening, because apparently the government doesn't have any seamstresses because they decided that fabric shops are not essential items, But c'est la vie, never mind. So I'm going to ask her if she's got any suggestions for any fabric that would be suitable for that. So another point that I wanted to make about this particular dress is when I did the browse through, I did say that I loved it, but I was a little bit worried about the pencil skirt silhouette. And that's because I have a perception that pencil skirts would restrict my stride. I have a long stride when I walk. And as a result, in my sewing, whenever I've sewn any pencil skirts, I've tended to always use ponties, so fabrics with a little bit of stretch in them. And I've never actually tried to sew a pencil skirt that wasn't in a stretch fabric. But I had a very thoughtful and very candid comment on the video where she basically stated that she used to wear pencil skirts. She grew up wearing pencil skirts, and they certainly never stopped her being able to walk around or anything like that. And that I just had to make sure that the vent in the back went all the way up to my knees so that it doesn't restrict my movement. And I actually thought, wow, that's a really good point. I've never thought of it like that before. And I am going to give it a go, sewing it up in the pencil skirt silhouette that it is meant to be. And maybe that was the reason why I was actually struggling to find a fabric, because I wasn't thinking of making it in the pencil skirt. So I am actually going to sew it up exactly as is in the magazine and see how I get on with the pencil skirt silhouette. So I'm going to head over now to Fabrics for All. It's first thing in the morning. I am supposed to be sweeping up, but I've decided that this is possibly more important because I can sweep throughout lockdown, but I'm not going to be able to go fabric shopping during lockdown. So this is the last fabric shopping, possibly before the new year as well. Okay, so yeah, here we go. Part one of sewing this. Now, if only I could find a hat like that, and then I can wear it. Before I go, though, I have to write down notes about how much of the fabric I actually need. So this one has got 1, 2, 3. 3 different types of fabrics, and it's telling you how much of each of the fabric you need to get. So I'm just going to write that down so that I don't actually get carried away, and I'll see if I can find a white fabric for the collar itself, because I don't have an awful lot of white fabrics in my collection. Okay, so Burda isn't usually very wasteful, but you'll see here, fabric 3 here, you require 1.5 meters of it. 1.5 meters, right? And fabric 3 is just for the belt here. Sorry, this is the tie, and then this is the belt. Yeah, and if you look over on the cutting layout, you need 1.5 meters for that. And you're just going to cut this out, and then just this out. Nah, mate, I'm not going to do that. This, we're going to have to figure out something better for this, because 1.5 meters just for these 2 pattern pieces. Yeah, okay, so I need to remember that. And then there is some lining over there for the pockets. Dress fabrics, viscose crepe. Yeah.
So what you need is a lightweight wool, the sort of, or a poly wool, something like that, something that's got a bit of drape but is also quite stable, which is quite smooth, because otherwise it'll drive you loopy wearing it unless you fully line it. So I think everything I've got is too heavy.
So you don't have anything that might work for that?
Bear with me.
Okay.
And you would definitely have to line that, definitely.
Do you reckon I'd have to line the bodice as well?
Yeah, because I think it's going to be itchy.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I think you probably need something in like a smoother wool weight. Not a Briella, but...
Okay, what if, so if we go away from the tartans,
Okay.
what else would you suggest for it?
So it will work brilliantly in a triple crepe or a MORROCAIN or something like that, something that's at their play. But that's the sort of weight that I'm thinking would work brilliantly for it. It's got a bit of drape. It's good. That's good. It's 98% wool and 2% lycra, so you've got the stability. But
It had to be brown.
yes,
Of all the colors, brown for me. What about the triple crepes?
I'll show you where those are. So all the crepes, all of that sort of weight, and these, can you see, even these are punties.
No, it wouldn't work with the pointy because
so
of the
it's
pleats.
it's the crepe. So that's the sort of thing. So you've got your weight and you've got your drape. That's the sort of weight, and you could wear that close to your skin. These, the MORROCAINs.
What's the difference between the crepe and the MORROCAIN?
So it's just the way that it's woven. So MORROCAIN is Moroccan crepe.
Oh, okay.
And it's got a sort of like a bumpy texture to it. It's quite lightweight, as opposed to triple crepe, which is much, much heavier. MORROCAIN is a fantastic price. It's only £5 a metre.
Okay.
And really nice colours.
Can you have that next to your skin
Yeah,
without lining?
absolutely fine.
Okay.
I will maybe half line the skirt just because skirts seat.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. And this one is a pencil. I've never done a pencil skirt.
So it's a proper bit of old-fashioned tailoring.
Yeah.
And so you have to treat it like that and do it with I would line it.
Okay.
Or at least half line it.
All right. Okay, well, I'll have a look at the crepes
Right.
then and see
I'll
if I can pick.
And see if there's anything that might do the trick.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yes, perfect.
There's not enough in the one on the other side. That one.
No, there's hardly anything left in it. One. There's 1.3 there, so if you know, but I'll
Okay, so Sarah has advised that I should use a crepe or a MORROCAIN. These are the colors that are available, so it's just a matter of me picking a color, deciding what the contrast color is going to be, and the belt and the tie.
she's got YouTube
Right.
instructions. Thank you very much.
True to the
That would be, what they would have had on is a white detachable collar,
Mhm.
but you wash the collar separately so you could get as much wear out of the dress. That's a proper old school.
I like that idea.
You put buttons on the inside. It's a little bit tricky, but that's the way.
No,
it
but
would
I've
have been
done that before. A couple of years ago, I did make a dress, a shift dress, princess seam lines, and then it had like this gigantic double collar that was detachable,
Yeah.
so you could go just for the simple.
You could, so proper old school, make your collar in the same fabric that's attached. Your white collar is the one that lies over the top,
Okay.
and you put little tucks in the white one so the points of this collar sit inside it,
Okay.
so that you have a white, because obviously white is mucky, it gets mucky.
Oh,
when you
yeah,
wanna
it
wash
does, yeah.
That's the way, but that's a really old-fashioned way of doing
Oh no, I like it. Love that idea. So you will be doing click and collect. Okay, so I'm back home now after a very successful fabric shopping trip. Sarah was helpful as always, and she suggested some wonderful fabrics. So I've moved a little bit slightly from my original vision of having it in tartan, and that's again because I don't want to become pattern precious. So I'm just going to show you very quickly the main things that I got, and then the two fabrics that I got entangled with. And honestly speaking, considering my previous entanglements, 2 extra fabrics is really, really good. Okay, so we are going to use these colors. It's going to be navy, mustard, and white. So the collar is going to be white. And Sarah gave me this really great idea. She was talking about how originally in the 1950s, the white collar would have been detachable so that they could just wash the collar itself without having to wash the rest of the dress. And I was like, boom, I have to do that. So I got a 1/2 meter of white cotton poplin. And that's because if we're going to make it detachable, it's going to need a lot more fabric to it. And then the navy is going to be the belt and it's going to be the tie. And then the mustard is going to be the main dress. And this is a MORROCAIN crepe, which is going to be fun to try out and see. But I loved the drape of this MORROCAIN crepe so much that I also ended up getting the red because I loved the red. And I was just like, I have to make myself a lovely red Christmas dress using a pattern from Burda 10 2020, which has got like a skirt belt. And I'll show you that. But it really is beautiful. And I've been assured by Sarah that I don't need to actually have any lining. I can have this against my skin and it feels just lovely. And I have to say, these aren't fabrics or color combinations that I would have normally just thought up of by myself. And that's one of the other things that I actually like about going to Fabrics for All, because you do get some input from somebody who knows what they're talking about. So this was entanglement number 1, by the way, and that's going to make a Christmas dress, a lovely, lovely Christmas dress, a flowy and drapey, and I'm just going to be swanning around drinking my fake martini. You know, I'm just seeing it now. But I also got some camouflage fleecy fabric, 2 meters of this, and that's to make a hooded jumper for my 15-year-old son who's into playing things like Fortnite and stuff like that. And so he does like, I think they call them skins or camo or whatever. So this is going to be his Christmas present. So, you know, so not too bad for the 2 entanglements. So that is part 1 of this series of making this issue. Went to get the fabric, got some extra fabric as well. So the next thing that I am going to do is make sure that I've got all of the pattern pieces traced out, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you so much for watching. There will be another video coming very soon. I'm hoping that I can get these out daily, especially the kids are now back at school. So this should be a lot of fun. So do subscribe and give the video a big thumbs up. And until I see you next time, happy sewing. Bye.